G'day, I'm Ralph Schwartz. Welcome to Geoterrics Outdoors Australia. Down in my workshop here, and you've seen quite a few videos over the last 18 months coming from this workshop. Some direct to camera and some where I've set up a downward pointing camera rig. Now I do this in a number of ways, and I thought I'd share it with you because when I went looking to see how I should set up a downward facing rig or a down pointing rig, I couldn't find a lot of information either on YouTube or anywhere else. So I did some trial and error. I've had a couple of downward pointing rigs based on different tripods. I've got myself a Joby, which I'll just show you the brand there, the Joby brand, and it's got a fluid head. And what this allows me to do is set up a camera on any particular angle, but it's got this little notch here. I don't know if you can see that well from this angle, and allows me to put the head down into the notch, and then I can tighten that off. Now if you have a look here, what I need to do is now position this head that I get myself the least legs in the screen. And so for that I zoom, and then all I do is just position, turn the camera around until I've got a position here. Now this is what it looks like on my old Sony, and it doesn't give me a particularly large area, but it's enough to do a video in of anything that's really small. Let's have a look at one of the Nikon batteries here. I generally try to find the center. So that's my first setup, which is for the Sony, or what I'm currently filming on now, which is the Samsung. When I need some slightly better quality of image and also a little bit more area, I use the Nikon Z6 with a Tamron 18-400 zoom lens, and this on this Joby tripod works quite well. There's a couple of things you need to do to get successful video from this sort of top-down rig. Let me explain how I've done it. First step, get your image stabilization set. Second, the thing that I got to make life easy for downward pointing or downward facing video is a cage. Let me just get some detail of that. So what this is, it is a branded Andoa cage from Wish. And what this allows me to do is I've got two cold shoes on this, but I've also got so many 1/4 inch holes that I can mount gear anywhere on this. Also comes on a set of rails that I can move forward or back this beautiful light box. And you can see the various light sources I've got here. Sometimes I get a bit of stray light coming onto the lens and giving me a flare, especially down here in a dusty environment. This light box just enables me to keep the light nice and tight, keep glare or excess light out. So what I do here, see if I can get you some detail here. There's a nice little screw there, or bolt. I'll just put that on. It gets a bit fiddly, and I start putting accessories onto it. First accessory I put on is the mounting plate from the particular tripod that I'm using. 1/4 inch thread, which is standard for all the old camera gear. 3/4 inch is a size that's becoming standard for quite a lot of the newer gear. Position that as tight as my fingers will allow it to go. There you go. I'll get that on here and then tighten it up. I'm going to position this that can come down and get put into place. Just give me a sec and I'll set it all up. One thing this is actually very, very unstable. It wants to come down. Now I could get some sort of cord up around here, up around the top of the leg, and tie that down. But generally, as I extend these legs out and get the camera up, I put a different length on that leg, so it just sits back that little bit, especially because I'm going to put a whole lot of weight and a whole lot of extra gear on this part of the camera. So I'll do that quickly now. Always extend out from the thickest part of your legs, because that's where it's going to be the most stable. Now, what I'm going to do is drop this leg back that little bit, and later in post I actually rotate the image right around so it looks like it's looking from this angle where actually it's filming from the other angle. One issue I do have with this particular lens, because it's such a beast, it keeps wanting to drop out to full zoom. The cage that I've got here, it also came with a zoom puller, and it works really very effectively in this circumstance. So this is the detail here, and all this does is just tighten down on the lens, and I actually use this here to stop it from moving, where I can lock it off against the rail. I've got a reasonable depth of field. I can set my camera up to aperture mode from auto, and I can set an aperture of around about f16. I can get it to focus, put the lens in autofocus mode, get it to focus on my hand, and what I can then do is click it back into manual focus and it'll lock away. It's not tipping this way too much anymore. One of the problems when I'm busy here, I want to be able to see what's going on, and I'll have that much gear in front of me here that that'll be almost impossible. One of the greatest purchases that I made on Wish was a Viltrox HDMI screen. Didn't make a big fuss of it at the time because I just got on and used it. Fantastic little HDMI LCD monitor. It's got HDMI and AV inputs. It runs off the batteries I've got for my old Sony still camera, which are the FM500H, which a lot of gear is powered by, and I had a few spare, so I can run this monitor for quite some time. So I'll get this monitor on where I can see it, and I'll position it where I want it. The beauty of this little accessory here is that it bends to whatever angle I need, and all I do is plug the HDMI cable into the HDMI in port I have there. I will get this shotgun mic. It's a shotgun, but I can actually use it as a full stereo, and that's what I'll do today. A couple of other options I've got, and you may have seen me use a radio mic, which then plugs into that. Won't do that today. So this Audio Technica mic comes in here and plugs in. Hello, hello, testing, testing. I've got stereo, you can see there, I've got stereo coming in. The problem here is that the information on the viewfinder or on the screen at the back of the Nikon isn't being reproduced on the HDMI. That's just straight HDMI. So I can't see what the audio levels are doing. Anyway, that's showing you the basics of my down pointing rig. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give us a thumbs up. Please share it with like-minded friends. And hey, thanks for watching.